Scott, thank you so much for the super chat. Everyone is on a 1-year contract. I think next year's offseason will be crazy. I think it will be. I 100% think it will be. I think it will be a joke. I mean, I think it's gonna be crazy. Because let's look at this. Let's look at this again. Let's go back. Let's go back to the cap sheets. Okay, so this is the cap sheet for the Indiana Fever. Look at all of this. Look at all of that for 2026. Unrestricted free agent. Basically the entire team. The entire team, guys. Let's look at the aces. 2026, once again, ding, ding, ding. Basically the entire team, unrestricted free agent. Unrestricted free agent. Just about everybody. So 2026 is going to be insane. Y'all thought that 2025 was crazy. Oh, that ain't got nothing on 2026. Again, let's look. Let's go further down. Let's look at the LA Sparks. Look at this. All of these top players, unrestricted free agents. And the reason why is because the CBA is up at the end of the 2025 season. Okay? It's up. And these players were smart and they were like, yeah, I'm going to sign a contract, but I'm going to maximize my potential earning. Okay? Again, unrestricted free agent. This is just about every single team, guys. Like this. Yes, 2026 free agency is going to be wild. It's the wild, wild west. And the only people stuck is going to be these rookies. The players on these rookie deals are going to be stuck. Everybody else is going to be able to go wherever they want. Wild, wild west. Oh, thank you so much, El Professor. I totally accept that apology. I appreciate you. And I know sometimes like we can get in a really jokey manner and whatnot. Like I totally understand that. It's just that about drugs, I just can't handle. Well, I can, but I don't like it. I really don't. I think that's it's a terrible thing to joke about, especially because of something that a lot of people die over. So I understand. Like apology accepted. All right. Sierra with the super chat. Thank you so much for it. Says $5 for Quita's ethics, realness, and stylish hair matching the Sugar women. Salute to you. Salute to you. Thank you so much for rocking out with me. Thank you so much. Con Landing is absolutely right. Y'all, shout out to Con Landing. Con Landing is always in the chat spitting some facts. Says the new CBA collective bargaining agreement could be the year everyone gets the bag in 2026. It will be. It will be the year. It will 100% be the year. And here's the deal, guys. Here is the deal. We are seeing so many deal after deal after deal after deal for the WNBA. $250 million for the new team in Cleveland, or the return of the old team in Cleveland, right? The WNBA is bringing in bank. What, $50K for the Golden State Valkyries to join? It was like both over $100K for Portland and the Toronto team to join. And so we're continuing to see the WNBA. They're gonna continue to make a lot of money through these expansions, and that's why you're gonna keep seeing it. We're gonna get to a point where we're probably gonna have 22 plus teams in the WNBA. Probably before probably by 2030, there'll be 20 teams, right? Why? Because the WNBA is seeing that this is a way for us to make a whole bunch of money. All right. No longer do we have to beg teams to become beg cities to consider getting a WNBA team. They are going crazy to try to get a WNBA team, right? And so it's huge. So with all of that additional money is going to come more money for players, right? We're going to see a really good CBA for players. We're going to see. Did I say 1,000? I meant million. Yeah, 50 million for the Golden State Valkyries, $250 million for the Cleveland Rockers, over $100 million for both the Portland team and for the Toronto team. It's a lot of money being made by the WNBA. We have the new media rights deal that is coming to effect. That's more money, and league attendance is up. Merch sales is up. And so the WNBA is making more money, and the players are looking, they putting their hand out and they're like, okay, come 2026, you slapping more money in my hands. You are slapping more money in my hands. Okay, I'm just saying. I am just saying. Daniel says, "Who is on the sky other than Angel?" Well, we have quite a bit of people on the team. Let's go through the roster for the Chicago Sky. Okay, here we go. So on the roster for the Chicago Sky, we have Courtney Vandersloot, Rebecca Allen, Mariah Jefferson, Kia Nurse, Michaela Onyenwere, Elizabeth Williams, Rachel Banham, Camila Cardoso, and Angel Reese. Those are the players that we have on. We'll ultimately see what more changes we have. We have a lot of cap space. We have 9 players currently on our roster. And we got a little bit under $400K to spend, which is perfect. And if I'm the Sky, maybe I'll add a couple more players on a training camp contract, but that'll be it. I won't be signing any players to an actual regular contract. It'll be training camp contracts from here on out because the Chicago Sky have 4 picks, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks for 2025. I anticipate that at least 3 of the picks will make the roster for the Chicago Sky. So that's why you need this money. You need this money so that way you can get those draft picks because we looking for Olivia Miles. That's who we looking for. Okay, that is who we are looking for. We'll ultimately see if we'll be able to pick up Olivia Miles. We'll see. But yeah, we will see. We will see. Kelsaw says, sounds like players are responsible for their own insurance, Athletes Unlimited, and possibly Unrivaled. I'm not surprised by that. Again, I don't know for sure if that's 100% true. But if it is true, I'm not surprised by it. One, Unrivaled, they're paying the players enough money where I kind of understand that. And Athletes Unlimited, it's a great opportunity for players, and ultimately, I don't think the league is making enough money to really give insurance like that. But I'll look further into it though, and I'll look further into the insurance. And whatnot. So Sierra says you can block anyone by clicking their name and block. Oh yeah, you can. You absolutely can. Yep. So if stuff is going on or whatever, I do not have any mods in the chat right now. Sorry. But yeah, if stuff is going on in the chat, you all can find the person's name that you don't want to see stuff for anymore, and then you can hit block, and then you won't see their stuff anymore. As far as I can tell, I do not have any mods in the chat right now. Tulip says, Quita, thoughts on Russell as cover for Cam? Thoughts on Russell as cover for Cam? Thoughts on Russell, I assume you mean Mercedes Russell? I assume. And as cover for Cameron Brink. Mercedes Russell is a good player. She's not... Mercedes Russell does have a shot at times. I think she's a fine off-the-bench player for the LA Sparks. Now, of course, she's not Cameron Brink, right? I think Cameron Brink is exceptionally talented. She is the starting center for the LA Sparks. It's gonna be her and Azurá Stevens sort of doing their thing, and they'll have Rickea Jackson as a starting 3. Mercedes Russell is a good player that can come off the bench and give some blow for Cameron Brink when she's tired, right? That is hilarious. Aussie says Quita for WNBA head news publisher. Oh man, that is hilarious. Yeah, I should be a WNBA head news publisher. All right. BJ is asking, can I see the complete Lynx roster? Yes, you can. One second. All right, so here we have the roster for the Minnesota Lynx. Got Nafisa Collier, Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Alana Smith, Natisha Heidemann, and those are the players on a guaranteed. Well, everybody but Nafisa Collier, who's on an unprotected deal, but everybody else was on a protected deal. We also have Bridget Carlton, Diamond Miller, who I'm still very confused about. Diamond Miller, I am just very, very confused. Like I don't know. I thought she showed a lot of promise at Maryland when she was in college. Her rookie year, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm seeing some sparks for Diamond Miller. This past year, I don't know, man. I don't know, dog. Like, Diamond Miller has a ton of promise, and I just, yeah, I don't know. Grace Berger was signed off of waivers. Kara Leslie was signed to a training camp contract. Alyssa Peely, Dorka Juhas, and Miriam Badine, one of those French players. Y'all France, I tell you this, France, guys, we about to see the WNBA get invaded by France. I'm just saying, okay? just so y'all know right now, we are going to see the French national team invade the WNBA because France has some very, very talented players. Very talented players. And they're heading to the WNBA, and I'm excited about it. I think there really are like French players, some Belgian players, players from the Nigerian team. Like there are some international teams that have some very high quality players that we will be seeing as years continue to come in the WNBA, especially as we start to see more expansion. We're gonna see these players. We're gonna see some of the players that we saw on for the Olympics, right? We're gonna see them in the WNBA. It's gonna happen. We already have some of them, but like it's gonna be even more once all of this expansion starts to happen. Especially when we get that Toronto team. Oh, you can expect that Toronto team to have quite a bit of international players. Quite a bit. All right, quite a bit. SRN says W is not ready for this expansion. Not even enough roster spots. You mean 12 roster spots on a team? You don't think that's enough? I feel like that's kind of enough. But again, we're going to see a lot more international players in the WNBA. You're not going to fill all of these roster spots with rookies. Like you're just not. Like it's not going to be all these American draft picks. Like you're just not going to see it, right? Yes, more of them will make a roster. However, you're going to see quite a bit of Nigerian players, quite a bit of Belgian players, quite a bit of French players, right? Like you're going to see that. You're going to see more Germans, right? You're going to see some quite a bit of international players in the WNBA, way more than what we see now, right? Colin Landy says France embarrassed the United States in the gold medal game by losing by only a point. Yeah, I mean France was really good. Like honestly, if it wasn't for Gabby Williams being short a couple inches, instead of losing by one, it would have been tied and it would have went to overtime. So like, I'm just saying, like, yeah, that was legit. Milo says, Quita, have you heard which teams Emma Misama is considering? Well, I do know that and this is a fact. I do know that we did see what is her name? The head coach for the United States, the head coach, Cheryl Reeve. There we go. Cheryl Reeve, the head coach for the Minnesota Lynx. She was over in Europe recently, and supposedly she has her eyes on Emma Misama. Now, there was some misinformation that was put out about Emma Misama, where somebody wrote on social media that Emma Misama was going to sign with the Connecticut Sun, and Emma Misama went on her social and said, I have not signed anywhere. You will get the information from me. So as of right now, we don't know. We have no idea what Emma Misama is going to do. Maybe she goes to Minnesota. Maybe she goes to Connecticut. Maybe she goes somewhere else. We don't know. We do not know. Levante, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, how much will the Sky have in cap space in 2026? Well, a lot of money. A whole lot of money. Let's see. Because again, the only players that the Sky will really have are players on the rookie deals, right? So like they have, I mean, as of right now, they only have 2 players on the 2026 roster because you only have 2 players still on their rookie scale contract, right? Remember, Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese are still on that contract. The 2026, the wildness of 2026 is going to be great for everybody else. It's going to suck for everybody who is on a rookie contract because those players can't go anywhere. So those are the only 2 players that will still be on the Chicago Sky come next year, if the Sky don't do anything, right? And then whoever they draft this year in the draft. We'll ultimately see what happens from there. But yeah, you have well over $1 million, and that'll change once the new CBA comes through. So like we can look at this now, but this doesn't mean anything because come 2026, it's going to be way more cap space than what you have. Way more cap space. Hopefully this makes sense. If y'all could, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button. That really does help the channel out a whole lot. Thank you so much. Thank you. David says, thanks so much for the super chat. David says, you are Fever GM. What other moves would you try to make? Well, considering who's on the roster now, and that's considering that I can't like make any changes to that Brianna Turner pickup. Well, what I would do is I would keep the team as is. I would look in in the KBSL and TKBSL, which is both of Turkey's leagues. I would look over there and I would see about grabbing up maybe another sort of like combo forward, someone who can sort of do that small forward or power forward deal and sign them on a training camp contract. And then see what happens in training camp in terms of like just the battling out of things. We'll see ultimately if Brianna Turner's contract is unprotected. If it is, and if it doesn't work out, they could just cut her, and they wouldn't be out any money. It's not a training camp contract for Brianna Turner, but like if I'm the Fever, I'm using training camp as a measuring stick of do we really like what do we want to do? If I am the Fever, I am probably not gonna touch Christy Wallace's contract. The only reason why is because if you're trying to do a buyout, she's not getting paid a ton of money, and your buyout, you're not gonna get much money back in terms of cap space, right? Because Christy Wallace is on a deal where she's getting paid $80,000, right? $80,000 in the player minimum for players who have been in the WNBA for 3+ years is $78,000. Like I don't think you save much money. It'd be different if Christy Wallace was getting paid a whole bunch of money. Then maybe you could get that down to a point where you can possibly add in another roster spot. Even if you do a buyout with Christy Wallace at this moment, I don't think you have enough to bring in a 12th player on the team. And so I think you just leave that as is and you talk to her and be like, hey, we need you to show up. We need you to show up in 2025. We need you to show up. So again, if I'm the Fever, I'm not making much moves. I'm probably adding somebody as a training camp contract. And I am saying, hey, battle it out with Brianna Turner, battle it out with Jaylen Brown, and may the best woman win, And I'm keeping whoever wins, and I'm cutting everybody else.